What's on, guys? Cuz Crypto here with another video. So in today's video, just going to do an update on everything, what's going on, why prices are coming down a little bit, and kind of where the market is at the minute. So as we can see, the total market cap of the crypto market at the minute is 3.38 trillion. And fear and greed at the minute is 67, so it's come down a little bit, and alt season at 23. So everything's a bit more flat now at the minute, we're having a bit of a sell-off at the minute. Not a significant one, but just a bit. I mean, Bitcoin now down to 107,500. Obviously on the weekly still, we're up 3.5%, because obviously we were hovering around the 106 mark for a lot of start of the week, sorry. But on the daily, down 1.2%, Ethereum down 1.6%, still over the $2,500 mark, but that's always good to see. XRP holding on to $2.30, it's lipped below $2.30 a little bit today, but not significantly. On the weekly though, XRP is down 3.5%. Solana as well, holding up quite strongly again, down 2 and a bit percent, but again, with Bitcoin hitting its all-time high at 111,800, we're going to see a bit of a sell-off before things start to push on a little bit. And then where else are we as well? So obviously Sui on the weekly is down 7.5% near enough, just because of that Cetus news and hack. But at the minute, market's having a little bit of a sell-off, but nothing too significant if you look at it on a general basis. So let's have a good look at the charts a minute. So going into Bitcoin on the hourly, so each candle being 1 hour. Currently, like we said, at 107,500. From where we came to the all-time high 3 days ago, we are looking at around I think it's about 4.5% sell-off. So 4.7% kind of correction at the minute. We've probably lipped that down to 106. Just test that kind of support. We haven't got really much support around there because we haven't obviously been over 106 for long. In January we were, and December a little bit, but other than that. But if we look here, I mean, Bitcoin, it was, 4.7 it was from that all-time high back to the lows we've hit kind of this morning / last night, so 4.7. But if you then look, if you go down the charts a little bit, so even Ethereum, so let's say we go from where Ethereum kind of went up, so same time, it was kind of midnight, 23rd of May. If we go from here, and let's go down to about here. So again, Ethereum down 9.37%. XRP as well. I mean, if we have a little look from here, going down to, let's go down there. So 8.6%. So going from there. So obviously Bitcoin, where Bitcoin is, less volatile. Obviously it seems the XRP is a bit less volatile than Ethereum is at the minute. But going from those kind of highs there, from the end of the 22nd into the 23rd, look, Solana as well. I mean, if we look at Solana from here, all the way down to about that low there, so 9.2%. Sui, obviously, because of the Cetus news, because Cetus they're onto the Sui network. There we go. So Sui is down 18. Literally, it's a wick there. Let's go to there. So 17.2% at the minute. And then another one we want to look at as well, just to show, like, for example, like even Aerodrome, let's say, for example, had a nice little climb up to about 70 cents. And we're back down here now to 56, 57 cents. 57, 58 cents, and that's an 18% correction. But if you look, guys, Bitcoin it was about like 4.7, so everything else is corrected probably 2 to 3 times the amount, depends on the volatility of the asset. So let's just go for an example here. So let's go back to Bitcoin and have a good look at the last time we had a bit of a correction. So let's say 19th of May, we had a bit of a correction from 107 back down to 102. Just comparing it again, so going from 107 to 102, so 4.65% correction, and then let's compare that with XRP. So about where was it? About here, wasn't it? Yeah. So again, let's check the correction on XRP. So Bitcoin is 4.65, XRP is around So again, the corrections are just a bit more. So you're looking at 50% more correction in comparison to Bitcoin. So where Bitcoin is 4.6, XRP is about 6.5 to 7. Solana as well. So yeah, going from that same time period on the 18th of May, going back down to that kind of low there, you're looking at about just about 10% correction there. So 10% correction. So it's showing as we go down kind of the market cap. So Bitcoin being obviously the highest, we are seeing a bit of sell-off, and where Bitcoin might sell off 5%, XRP might sell off like 8%, your Solanas will sell off 10%, and then as we go down the curve a little bit, they obviously sell off a bit more. So what could we see now from, obviously, if Bitcoin, let's go back to Bitcoin again, and have a look at kind of if let's say we go back down to 100,000, whether we break below 100,000 again, we don't have a clue. Again, no one's bloody can tell the future, but down to that. So look, that's a 10% correction, let's say. So let's say 10%. So add another 50% onto XRP. So XRP could be a 15 to 20% from here, like 15-16%, let's say. So XRP you could be looking at from this. Obviously we've got this high over here, but let's say going from the same time frames, you're looking at probably XRP could be testing again. If Bitcoin goes back down to 100,000 or kind of tests it a little bit, you could be looking at around 206, 207 sort of range. Again, this isn't exact. It could be around the 205 to 208 range. Whether we come back down to the if we go back down to the $2 mark, I mean, that is basically a 20% correction near enough, isn't it? 19%. Again, something we really don't want to see. And then SUI as well. Let's have a good look at SUI. So obviously coming from here, obviously we flew up here up to $4.20. That correction. So if we compare it, you're looking at probably, about, because obviously it's about near double. So you're looking at probably double and a bit. So maybe 23 to 25%. So you could be looking at $3.30, so 20 to 25% to $3 kind of 15 mark. If things go a lot more south and that correction gets quite steep. But guys, let's have a look a minute. So news updates at the minute. I mean, Treasury basically saying the digital assets passing the stable coin bill. It's kind of the start of kind of electrical digital assets, where obviously if you've got a blockchain and you go from your fiat currencies like your US dollar, UK pound, anything like that, which currently is deflationary, so inflationary. So obviously they can print averagely about $460 million a day. So if you're printing that much every day, I mean, you think about over a year, that's a significant amount of money. And the money you hold, obviously because there's more of it, the value of that, what you hold, goes down. So going into assets, again, not financial advice, but going into assets like gold, cryptocurrencies, even into the stock market of some sorts, where the S&P 500, you are still beating inflation to some extent. Where if you're just holding fiat currency, like your US dollar, UK pound, anything like that, the valuation of it goes down just holding it. So let's say you hold £10,000 5 years ago, during COVID, let's say, that now could be worth about £8,500 because it is an 8% decrease every year on average. And funny thing here, obviously, Jim Cramer saying about investing in Bitcoin in 2023, sell it all then because it's going to go down. Obviously, you go the opposite of what he says. So he said to sell back in 2023. Since then, it's up 350%. So whatever he says, do exactly the opposite, apparently. That's what it seems. But again, not financial advice. And then what else have we got here? So on Telegraph, we've got Cetus Protocol, basically the update around what's going on. So what they've stated is they wanted to highlight questions that were frequently being asked. And what they said is basically, what is the current status of user funds? Are they frozen or recoverable? So obviously they said the funds consist of two parts, but one being SUI, and then one bridge with the ecosystem mainly held in Ethereum. So here, the assets within SUI addresses are currently frozen and basically validate through the efforts of validators. So we're basically pursuing whether the successful on-chain vote on SUI community authorises the recovery process of the frozen funds. So again, that's kind of the decentralized set aspects of it. So people who are validators or nodes on that ecosystem in SUI, because obviously that being a layer one, that makes it more decentralized because people on it have more of a say rather than people that produce the product and own it. Or not own it, but created the project. And the other thing is reaching a kind of white hat agreement and identifying the hacker or for legal actions as well. So it's kind of in between, because obviously whether you capture them is another thing, but also the ecosystem still needs to continue. Life goes on, and they'll lose money, and again, it can affect price. So obviously, it's quite. I think altogether it was 220 million that was impacted, but 160 million was then frozen. So they managed to get away with 60 million of the actual amount. And another news as well: Pakistan allocated 2,000 megawatts for Bitcoin mining and AI centers. Basically, started mining Bitcoin. So Pakistan all going for it. And again, spot Bitcoin ETFs hit an all-time high in 2025 of a monthly value of around a weekly value of 25 billion, which that is absolutely amazing to see. And then obviously with the Coinbase app, so at the minute it's gone down a little bit, but obviously because we've had a sell-off, Bitcoin's come down a little bit. All the other altcoins have reduced again. Like we said, we've shown on the charts a bit more. We've seen a bit more volatility. All apps, it's about 300 now. It was 270, so it's dropped 30 there. Great to see, meaning less people are involved in crypto, meaning prices are not going to fluctuate as much. So it's probably good points. Again, not financial advice, but it's what I'm doing. Buying at certain points where I can. Never buy at the highs, always buy at the lows. If we start to see bearish forms of, breakdowns, again, I don't think we're in a bear market. I think we're in a bull market. I think everything is looking good. And on the financial app, yesterday it was 17th. It's now down 1 to 18th. So Coinbase app, not looking too bad. And then just a quick one, obviously that 40x Bitcoin whale closes his $1.25 billion long position, and he lost $13.4 million on that. So again, guys, with leverage, be careful, because again, he did a 40x. I think his liquidation point was about a 104, was it, or 106? And we're nipping to that. So obviously him cashing out, if we go back down to 106, he would have lost it anyway. We haven't nipped it yet. Personally, I feel we could, because it's again a level of support, so we could bounce off it. And again, when we go through it a little bit, that could happen. But yeah, be careful with leverage. If you get liquidated, it is the worst feeling. I did it a couple months back, and to be fair, leverage, is not for me. I just stick with my spot bags. I got a little bit out of a meme coin the other day, and I put about £50 into some leverage, just because it's £50 that I'm happy to put in. But the 300 I put back onto it, I've kept to the side. And then here going BTC spot inflows and outflows. So obviously at the minute we're seeing a bit more outflows since the high. Even the high, we've seen a bit more outflows since. So obviously on this day we had about 800 million. But in the last 24 hours, 250 million outflows of BTC, 90 million of Ethereum, XRP, nearly 29 million. What are we on? So Dodge, 21 million. So people are selling off a little bit. SUI, 17 million. Not as bad as I thought it would be. But yeah, we're seeing more outflows at the minute, meaning people are selling a little bit. But again, guys, we can see a bit of a spike in price, hopefully coming into June, just because there is going to be a slight correction. And liquidations. So this is more, again, like with the leverage side of things. So your 50x leverages, guys, I mean, you were looking at 106,000 for Bitcoin. I think once we get past the 104,000, so we take out the 25 to 50x, the 20 to 50 to 100x leverages, price will stabilize again, and we should see an upwards. I think people are either going to have stop losses around 105, 106, because these leverages are very significant, quite, they're quite high leverage. I think a 25x leverages, we could probably go back down to, like we say, that if we go back down to 100,000, so you're looking at, with the 10x leverages, you're looking at under 100,000, but from the 25x leverages, you're looking at about 102,000 upwards. So if price goes back down to 102,000, you're looking at another, 3.8%. Let's have a good look a minute. So, I thought we were on Bitcoin there. So, from where we are now, back down to 102 would be about nearly 5%. So, you're looking at 5% there. And again, so 5%. So, other cryptocurrencies like XRP could be then 8-9%. Solana could be 12-13%. Sui's could be 15%. Again, like we said, going down that curve, more volatility. And then other things I just want to look at, guys, I like to compare. So the search terms for Bitcoin, XRP, and Solana in Google. Obviously, when retail wants to come in and think, oh, how's cryptocurrency doing? Firstly, they will look at Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's number one and it's the most kind of recognized cryptocurrency. Again, I've done a video for any newbies coming into the space on what is cryptocurrency and kind of getting an idea of what it is. But again, a favourable kind of cryptocurrency as well is obviously XRP. But looking here, guys, if we go back to November time when we had that spike and that bit of Bitcoin kind of started to pump, and altcoins followed maybe a week after. Look, Bitcoin flew up to its all-time high in searches, and then XRP followed about 2 weeks after. But Solana's not really, again, we had a little bit of an increase, but it wasn't significantly high, like your Bitcoin or your XRP. And again, as we're where we are now, Bitcoin obviously from the 18th to the 24th, so going from the Monday to the Saturday, it increased slightly because obviously it's all-time high, but the search terms are back down to, it's quite low. It's where are we? 22, 28, so it's near all-time lows. XRP all-time low, and even Solana's not even being really searched. So looking at that, guys, whether we are in a bull run at the minute is, whether we're in a bear market or a bull run, you've got to look as well. BTC kind of dominance, we're back up to that support line, that resistance line of 64 and a bit percent. So we've been nipping that for quite a few weeks. And then obviously when alts ran a little bit, kind of around start of May, we came back down to 54%, down 62%, sorry. We came back down to 54% on the, where was it again? Let's find it, about November time. I'll find it here for you. Let's go back to the daily. So, on the daily here, let's have a look. So, from here, we're back down to, again, that when altcoins kind of really took off, and in November, December time, and Bitcoin's dominance went down to 54%, 54.5%, which again, guys, if it was a bear market, if it was a bear market, we wouldn't have had this increase here. So we would have had this increase here and have stayed up there. But again, the bull run hasn't happened yet for me. It hasn't come back down to these prices yet, and the amount of inflow of money from institutions and retail hasn't flown in. Your search terms are at all-time lows. So guys, it's just a matter of time before people start to come back into cryptocurrency. Once Bitcoin starts breaking past, because it will. It's again not financial advice, guys, but it will break past. It will start to hit up to that kind of 110,000 again, and I reckon it will break the all-time high again. Again, we got that resistance at 111,800. But yeah, that's me today. I hope that you guys found that useful. And again, just look after your cryptocurrency. I would say, again, you've got it in exchanges, fine, but I use mine on a Tangent wallet, keep it nice and safe. All my crypto is all mine, no one can touch it, no exchanges can touch it, and I know it's safe. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Have a good one, look after each other, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.